First up guys, I like to come down to a little child's pose, especially if you're doing this stretching routine after a workout. Great stretch to get the recovery and the heart rate down and get some nice deep breaths in towards the stomach. So sitting our bum back towards our heels and lowering our chest to the ground, getting a nice stretch in the upper back. For all these stretches, you should be holding for them at least about 20 seconds, anything up to a minute if you want to. So in that position, taking the hands over to the left side, stretching off the opposite side of the back. And then to the opposite side. So again, holding these stretches for at least 20 seconds at home. For the sake of this video, I'm just flying through them. Next up, we're coming into a few cat-cows. So my shoulders are stacked over my hands. I'm coming into a nice big arch at the top of the movement and getting a nice stretch off it in that thoracic spine. My hips are over my knees also, and then I'm dipping my chest down, looking up to the ceiling into the cat-cow. So again, 20 to 30 seconds for that. You can take longer if you wish. Next up, I'm going into a low runner's lunge, stretching off the hips. So really easing into the hips here. Nice deep stretch. Again, switching sides in your own time. This is predominantly our tightest muscle, so a really nice deep stretch in here for as long as you wish. So I'm easing in and out there as it gets a little bit looser. Next up, we're coming into quads. So go back to that first leg you did, and what we're doing is, if you can, you're taking that back heel toward your bum and getting a nice stretch there. This is a little bit advanced. If you can't quite reach back for your ankle there, I'll give you an alternative exercise to do in just a second. So this is stretching off the front of the quad as opposed to the hip. So the alternative is here to go back to your PE days in school. Keep the knees close together and then you're stretching off the front of the quad. And there's the alternative for the hips as well. So from the front, knees together for quad, knee out to the side for hip and hip flexor. Next up, we're going glutes. So if you're familiar with this stretch in yoga, into the pigeon pose, it's a real deep stretch in the glutes. It's quite advanced though, so I will give an alternative exercise as well. I'm really tight through my left hip here. My right hip is a lot better. So what I'm saying there is you're taking your knee across to your elbow. If you have knee problems or anything, this probably isn't the best stretch for you. So the alternative is to come lying on your back, take that knee in towards your shoulder, and then cross it over to your opposite knee, and then take that knee in to put some pressure on the outward hip. A little bit hard to explain on the video, but you can see here I've crossed that knee over, put my heel on top of my other knee, and I've taken my hands through that gap to pull it in. Alternatively, you can just ease that knee in towards your shoulder. And what I'm doing here is I'm opening up my hip, like so. So I'm taking my foot towards my opposite shoulder to really open up that hip. So you can play about with that one where you feel the stretch. Next up, we're going hamstring. So lying down, take that knee in towards your chest as far as it'll go, and then extend the hamstring into a stretch. So the great one about this exercise is you're keeping a neutral spine because we're lying on the ground as opposed to sitting up and arching off our back. So again, holding these stretches for at least 20 to 30 seconds at least. So you're taking that knee in towards the chest and then extending the hamstring. Alternatively, you can do this sitting up, but really make sure we're not flexing our spine. We're still trying to keep a neutral spine, and we're just sitting forward until we feel the hamstring stretch. So you can do this two legs or one leg. I'm just demonstrating there not what to do. So don't flex the spine, you're just sitting forward until you feel the stretch in the hamstring. So one leg or two legs. Next up, coming into some shoulder stretches. So we've all done this one before. Taking that shoulder across the body, just stretching off outside the shoulder, switching sides. Again, I'm flying through these, but you hold these for as long as you wish. Into your triceps, so pulling that elbow back down your back, so from the back, taking it down, real stretch. Next up, we're coming to chest, so a little bit of a chest stretch. You can grab the mat behind you, open up the chest and across the shoulders. You can also do this lying down, so take your hand out to like a T position, and then you're just rolling over that shoulder to put some pressure on the chest and shoulder. So seeing that on both sides. Alternative, if you've got a partner or anything, you can get them to pull back your shoulders in a sitting up position. It's also a good one. So there you have it, guys. Like I said, this video is more to just teach the exercises and the stretches so you can do them yourself. So you should be at least holding the stretches for at least 20 to 30 seconds. And if you really want to use these same stretches to increase your flexibility, if that's something you want to focus on, you should really be holding the stretches for at least 1 to 2 minutes.